which I explained yesterday?
No, చెప్పండి.
Hello.
Okay, నేను యాక్చువల్లీ నిన్న చెప్పిన బాడీకి చూసి కనుక్కుంటాను.
Harish, mute yourself, please.
అవునవునండి, లేదు నేను చెప్తాను నేను. ఓకే,
నిన్న నోట్ ప్యాడ్ చూసుకున్నారా డిస్క్రిప్షన్ అంతా? విక్రాంత్, పవన్, గోపి,
రాజేష్
చూసుకున్నాను.
So how many types of connectivity modes we have?
3 types.
Okay, what are those?
Import mode,
direct query or live connection.
Okay, so what is mean by import mode?
It copies datasets into Power BI desktop.
Okay.
Data will be stored in the Power BI desktop itself.
Okay.
And we can't, the data is not more than the 1 GB data. We can't process the data more than the 1 GB.
With Power BI Pro license. Okay. Okay. What about direct query?
Direct query is directly from the source.
Okay.
Stored in the source itself. And we'll be retrieving the data directly from the source only.
Okay.
The data will be more than a 10 GB also, but it will be used in a Power BI in the premium license.
No. In direct query, so there is no limitation of data size. But in in import mode, there is a limitation of 1 GB. So if you have a data more than 1 GB, then we'll get errors in import mode. But in direct query, so it can handle till there is no limitation of.
No limitation. Okay, fine.
Okay, so today we'll talk about another connectivity mode called live connection. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so I just write this information. So live connection. What is live connection? So live connection is a very similar to direct query. So in the way like it works with the data source. That means the data will be stored in the source itself. Okay, so it will not store the data in Power BI. Okay, it will not store the data in Power BI, and it will query the data source every time. It will query the data means whenever you open the report, it will go to the query, it will go to the source, and it will get the data. Okay, however it is different from direct query. So little different from direct query. So live connection is only supported of this data source. Okay, let me read it once again. So live connection is very similar to direct query. So in the way means, so why it is similar means, so it will work with the data source. Okay, it will directly work with the data source. In the way that it will work with the data source, it will not store the data in Power BI, and it will query data every time from the source. So it will get the data from source every time. So it is different from direct query. Why? Because live connection is only supported of these data sets. Okay, of these data sets. That means it will work with only SQL Server analysis service. That means SSAS tabular model. So SSAS multi-dimension model, and then Power BI service. So it will not work other data source like SQL Server database, and SAP, Oracle, and we have so many, right? Let me open. Okay, let me open the Power BI. I'm just opening my real-time system now. Okay. ఇంటర్వ్యూలో ఖచ్చితంగా అడుగుతారు అనమాట. వాట్ ఈస్ డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ డైరెక్ట్ క్వరీ, ఇంపోర్ట్ మోడ్ అండ్ డైరెక్ట్ క్వరీ. లైవ్ కనెక్షన్ కూడా అడుగుతారు, బట్ సో మెనీ ఆఫ్ ద people will not work, because for live connection you need to have a already which is implemented SSAS tabular model, and SSIS multi-dimension model is already implemented. If they are using MSBI or other tools, then they can use it. But apart from that, so we can use import mode and direct query mode. Okay. Okay, let me open any one of the report. So I think by next week we can start preparing the resume. So we will almost cover all the topics except the Power BI service. So Power BI service will take at least 4 to 5 days. So then after that we are good to go with the preparation of the resume. Okay, so today is the first, right? Okay, today is first. So this whole week we will cover all the topics, and maybe so by 10th, so we can start preparing the resume. Okay, for all of you, you can start preparing the resume and create a now create account and all. Okay, by 10th, so we'll almost cover all the topics in this case. Okay, let me have, so I have maintained all the information. Okay, so this one, so I'll add other every day. I'm adding. So whatever we have a discussion, right? So every day I have added. Okay, so that so we can almost by end of next week, so we can almost cover all the topics which is related to Power BI. Okay, so we will start preparing the resume. Okay, so what we were talking about, so we were talking about about the live connection. So for example, so I'll show you the import mode and direct query. But so what are the connectivity? Sorry, what are the data sources we can connect with the live connection? Means you can see only SQL Server. SQL Server analysis. See here also we do not have that, right? So we do not have that. What is it? SQL Server analysis service. SQL Server analysis service. This is the one, and another one is multi-dimension model. Okay, multi-dimension model, and then Power BI service. Power BI service anyway we have, it is comes under Power BI. So that is fine. So but what I mean to say, like whenever interview or anybody can ask, like so what are the data sets? What are the data sets we can? What are the data sets will be supported by live connection? Means you can say SQL Server analysis service. You can say directly SSIS tabular model and SSIS multi-dimension model and Power BI service. You can say SQL Server, SSIS tabular, SSIS multi-dimension. You can say it. Okay, so these three only will support by live connection. So no other data sources will be supported. So like this, so SQL Server database will not support. Okay, SQL Server database will not support, and then Oracle database will not support, IBM mainframe. So these are all will not support. Okay, Excel and everything, these all will not be supported by the live connection. So there are so many, right? There are so many. So there are so many like SAP. So like you can search for SAP. So this SAP also will not support for the live connection. Okay, will not support for the live connection. Okay, so what are the next is like dataset, because these data sets are modeling engine themselves. So Power BI connect to this and fetch all the metadata, measure names, and okay. See like still next what? So what why we we are just only supporting these three means. These three means, see, SQL Server means it will, so in SQL Server tabular model and multi-dimension model, we do all the modeling in there itself. Okay, we do all the modeling in there itself in SQL SSAS tabular model, SSAS multi-dimension model. Okay, SSAS tabular model and SSAS multi-dimension model. We do all the modeling stuff. So we will not have this power query. Okay, we will not have this power query. If we go here, transform data, there you can see, right, this power query. This power query you will not see it. This power query you will not see it. Only you can see this modeling tab. Okay, only you can see this report tab. You will not see this data tab. You will not see the relationship tab also. Okay, sorry, modeling tab also. So what I mean to say is like, so because the data sources are modeling engines themselves, this means these are the data sources, right? Tabular and multi-dimension model. So these data sources are modeling engines, means they have a modeling capability. Okay, we do all the modeling stuff in there itself, in this source itself. So Power BI only connect to these data models and fetch all the model metadata like measure name, attribute names, relationship, everything we'll have in there in tabular model and multi-dimension model. Okay, and so with this method, so you need to handle all your data modeling requirements in the data source. So that's what I'm saying. So you just need to handle all your data modeling stuff, data modeling requirement in source itself. Source means tabular model, SSAS tabular model, SSAS multi-dimension model. So and Power BI just surface the data through visualization. So why we will use Power BI by using live connection means, Power BI we can use in this method, in the live connection, we will use only for the visualization purpose, to create a visuals. Okay, to create a visuals only we use Power BI. So the end tool is Power BI will use only for the visualization purpose. Okay, only for the visualization purpose. అర్థమైందా ఇక్కడ వరకు? క్లియరా ఇక్కడ వరకు all of you?
ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ బ్రీఫ్గా ఒకసారి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తా సార్ లైట్ గా.
See, live connection అంటే it is like a same like a direct query. So direct query అంటే it will store the data in the source itself, right? It will store the data in the source itself. It will not store the data in Power BI. Okay, and it will query the data source every time. It will query data source every time. That means it will go every time source. Okay, every time to the source to get the data. So live connection will only support. So it is similar. It is a little bit different because in direct query it will support everything, right? It will support all the data source. Like you can get the data from SQL, you can get the data from SAP, you can get the data from Oracle, you can get the data from Azure, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. But in live connection, you cannot get the data from SQL Server. You cannot get the data from SAP. You cannot get the data from Oracle. So live connection only supported for these data sets. Okay, one is data source, one is SQL Server tabular model. Okay, SSAS tabular model and SSAS multi-dimension model and Power BI service. Okay, these three only will not support other data sources. As I said, like SQL Server, SAP, Oracle, Azure will not support for the
live connection.
Okay, so why? Because these data sources are modeling engines themselves, means all the modeling stuff you will do, all the modeling stuff. Like modeling stuff means renaming the columns, removing the columns, what you can say, removing the duplicates and all the like creating the measures and everything you do in the SSAS or SSAS multi-dimension model or SSAS tabular model. You do all stuff in there itself. Okay, so Power BI only connect to these data sources to fetch all the metadata. All the metadata means that's what we call it. Measure names, attribute names, relationship, everything we do in source itself. Okay, we do in source itself. So with this method, you need to handle everything. Like, so you need to handle everything like modeling requirements in the data source. Okay, in the data source means in the SSAS tabular model or SSAS multi-dimensional model. Okay, and Power BI is just a surface the data through visualization. So Power BI we can use in this live connection only for the visualization purpose. Okay,
Okay.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts? Please ask me. Simple and like so live connection and we can use only for the visualization purpose in the Power BI, and it will support only for these data source. One is SSAS tabular model, SSAS multi-dimensional model, and the third one is the Power BI service. So all the modeling stuff you need to handle in your modeling requirements in the data source itself. That means here itself. You just need to handle everything, the modeling and everything, relationship, everything you can do in the source itself. Okay. What are the important features? What are the important advantages and disadvantages? Okay, let's see advantages. What are the advantages we have? So large scale data source supported. Large scale means if you have a huge data like big data, and it will support for the live connection. So no size limitation as far as SSAS support. SSAS lo size limit anedi ledanamata. So because we are getting the data from SSAS, right? We are getting the data from SSAS tabular model and SSAS multi-dimensional model. So there is no data limitation. Okay, there is no limitation in the there is no size limitation in the SSAS supports. Okay, many organizations already if many organizations already have SSAS model, okay, SSAS model built, so they can use it as a live connection without the data without the data replication that into Power BI. See, for example, if organizations already using SSAS model, SSAS MSBL was then SSAS, SSIS, SSRS. Okay, SQL Server reporting services, SQL Server integration service, SQL Server analysis service. SSAS and SQL Server analysis service, SSRS and SQL Server reporting service, SSIS and SQL Server integration service. These three we have in MSBI. So all together so earlier they were using different services for different requirement. So if they want to create a report, then they need to go for the reporting service. If they want to integrate with the different data sources, they need to go for the integration server. If they want to do the analysis on then they need to go to the analysis service. But Power BI, Microsoft will come up with the solution called Power BI. So you can do everything in the Power BI, right? You can do everything, like you can do analysis, you can do integration, you can do reporting. Everything you can do in Power BI, right? So that is the reason Power BI has so much demand in the market. See, if you want to create reports in MSBI, you need to go to the report server, right? So there are three areas: SSAS, SSRS, SSIS. But all together, Microsoft come up with the Power BI. You can do all these three areas in one tool. That is Power BI. So that is the reason. And also MSBI is not a cloud technology. MSBI is not cloud technology. So Power BI is a cloud technology, right? So that is the reason it is overcome with the MSBI. Power BI overcome with the MSBI and also Tableau. So that is why Power BI has a huge demand in the market nowadays, because it has so many advantages and it has a flexibility to work with all the areas like analysis service, integration services, reporting service. Everything you can do in one tool. Okay. So what we are talking about? If many organizations already having SSAS model built, so they can use, because all the models are available in SSAS. That's what we have said. See here, you need to handle all your modeling requirement in the data source. So that means if they are already having, if they're already having SSAS model built in their organization, so they can use it as a live connection without data replication into the Power BI. Without data replication into the Power BI means, so we will not replicate any data into the Power BI, right? In the live connection. Okay. So report level measures. So report level measure means, so that is also support means so even if you are using live connection, so we can create some amount of measures. Okay, some amount of measures. So MDX or DAX analytical engines in the data source. MDX means, see, for the DAX, we will create a DAX formulas, right? So the DAX measure concept. So we will come to the later part after Power BI service. We'll discuss after Power BI service about the DAX. So how we can create a new measure, how we can create a new column, okay, how we can create a sum measure, sum next measure, like calculate, filter. These are the measures, very frequent measures we create by using DAX formulas. Okay, DAX formulas. So DAX analytical engine, the data source of SSAS, can be great asset of the modeling. Okay, or compared to the direct query. So you can create all the DAX measures in the SSAS model. Okay, all the DAX measures in the SSAS model compared to the direct query, because you cannot create DAX measures in the source itself, right, by using direct query. But in the live query, in the live connection, you can create DAX measures by using SSAS, because it is support only for SSAS, right? Okay, clear for the advantages? Clear?
Sir.
Yeah. So what are the disadvantages? No power query. So as I said, you cannot see this power query. So this one, when you click on transform data, you cannot see this power query option, because all the modeling stuff, all the what you can say, data prepping, data preparation, and data shaping, everything you do in source itself in the live connection. Okay, no power query. Cannot combine the multiple data from the multiple sources. Okay, as same like a direct query. So you cannot combine data from multiple sources. Multiple sources means you cannot combine the data from multiple sources, means it will only support these two only, right? That is the reason you cannot combine. That is the reason you cannot combine the multiple sources. Okay. Slower connection time. Slower connection performance tuning in the data source is must do. See, because all you are doing, all the stuff you are doing, like modeling stuff, relationship, everything you are doing in the source itself. That is the reason it will definitely kill the performance. It will definitely kill the performance. That is the reason you need to do the performance tuning. That means to improve the performance, we need to do the performance tuning. Performance tuning means to improve the performance. To improve the performance, we need to do some settings. That is called performance tuning. So performance tuning, everything has to be done in the data source. In the data source means SSAS tabular model or SSAS multi-dimensional model only. You need to do the performance tuning. Okay, you need to do the performance tuning. So as I said, no power query, just visualization. Why? So whenever you are using live connection, so we will use Power BI tool as a Power BI technology. Power BI software is only for visualization purpose. Okay, everything else set up in the source itself. Okay, everything else set up in the source itself. So the big disadvantages of this method is you will not have a power query simple transformation. With this method, you will have only reporting tab. So that's what I said. Okay, so you will not have a power query. So you will have only this tab. This tab only you will have, this report tab. You will not see this data tab. You will not see this modeling tab. Okay, you will not see this modeling tab. Okay, clear? So now we will go to the import mode. How we can where you can see the import mode, where you can see the direct query mode. Okay.
Okay.
Till now clear, right?
Yes.
So whenever you are using live connection, you will not see the data tab. You will not see the model tab. Okay. These two tabs you will not see it. Okay. These two tabs you will not see it. Okay. Okay, so what I will do, I will just take any one of the example. Okay, so we are using in one of our company. So we are using Denodo. Okay, we are using Denodo as a source. Okay, Denodo as a source. What I will do, I'll just close this. I'll also close this. I'll open the fresh one so that you will understand. Okay, Power BI desktop. Denodo. So there is a source called Denodo. That is also one type of source. We can get the data from. We can get the data from Denodo to the Power BI. Okay. Okay, so when you go here, when you click on get data, go to the more. Okay, go to the more and then type it Denodo. Okay, so many companies will be used or many companies will not be used. So it depends on the company. Okay, depends on the company. Denodo is the one type of data source. Okay, one type of source where we can get the data from Denodo to the Power BI. Okay, in one of which company that is called Westcon. Okay, they are using the Denodo. Okay, they are using the Denodo. So source name is the DSN name is the source. DSN name is the one type of source. So in SQL it will be different. Okay. See, can you see it here? Import mode and direct query mode. Because Denodo will not be support for the live connection. That is the reason you are not able to see the live connection. Because Denodo, as I said, live connection, as I said, will be supported only for SSAS tabular model, SSAS multi-dimension model, right? So that is the reason you are not able to see the live connection. Can you see it here? So once you enter the source name, once you enter the server name, so Denodo, then if you click on connect, so if you click on import mode, if you click on import mode, first we'll go with the import mode. Okay, first we'll go to import mode. Okay, we'll go to the import mode, then we'll go to the direct query mode. So this option will come. So once I'll go to the same will be, so here because we are not using the SQL server, but if you go to the same like SQL server, it will be same only. Okay, if we get a time, then we can show in the I can show you in the SQL server also. I'll get some like open source SQL server details, and then we can try that also. So if you click on SQL server, if you click on connect, then it will ask the connection details, the server name. Okay, the server name, once you enter the server name, see, you can see it here, import and direct query mode. So once you enter the import the server name, so it will be development, testing, and production. So whatever the connection mode you can add it here. Okay, you can add it here. You can enter the service server name. You can enter the server name. So you can also enter the port number. That is not required. So you just enter the server name, and then it will show import mode and direct query mode. Because SQL server also it will not support, right? SQL server analysis service tabular model, SQL server analysis service multi-dimension model. Those two only it will support by live connection, right? So this is where you can see where import mode and direct connectivity modes. Okay, connectivity modes. So in our case, we'll go to the Denodo again. So you understand, right? Where you need to go? You need to click on get data and search for the. In Excel, you cannot see that. So if you go and try with Excel, it will not see, because Excel will not support for this connectivity modes. It will by default it will show as an import mode only. But you cannot see that whether it is a direct query mode or import mode. So it will be only import mode. Okay. See, now I am connecting to the Denodo. So I am connecting to the Denodo and I am entering my port number. Then I am click on OK. Then it will show all the tables whichever we have in the Denodo. Okay, whichever we have in the Denodo. Okay, this is Denodo. Okay, so I will show you how the Denodo platform will be also for your understanding. Okay, this is the Denodo platform. This is source, which I am opening right now, right? So this is source. The same tab, the same folders you can see it. Same folders you can see it in the source. Okay, let me open it. Okay, virtual data port. Okay, launch. Okay. So your company will be provided your username and password. Just enter it and then connect. Okay, can you see it now? So here we can see this Westcon. Okay, this Westcon to Westcon 3. See Westcon to Westcon 3. Okay, can you see it? Westcon to Westcon 3. And HC diagnostics. Okay, admin, because admin will not give, they will not provide the admin access. Okay, now what we need to do? We need to search for the view, search for the data source, right? Search for the view. This is the one type of table. Okay, this is one type of table. 1 second. So where we need to find that, we need to drill down it. Okay, drill down the. See, now can you see it? Westcon closed down. Okay, this is This is the source I'm connecting. This is the one type of view. And here also you can see where is that? It is under the Westcon 3, right? Go to Westcon 3, then go to the reporting view. There you can find, and otherwise you can directly search it. Okay, can you see it here? In the reporting view also we have Westcon 3 also we have, and Westcon also we have. Okay, so what you need to do, you just need to select this. Then you can see all the table information. So, but this is a view actually. So it is contain multiple tables, but this is a view. Okay, RV means reporting view. Okay, reporting view. So once I click on, so same way you do, right? Whenever you click on get data, and whenever you taking the Excel, you can see all the information, right? Whatever the tables, whatever the sheets we have. But in the real time, it will be the tables. It will be so many tables, right? So for example, if I remove here, so you can see so many tables, right? See, there are so many tables for the different requirement. For the different requirement, they will use a different tables or different views. Okay. Enter it, and then see I have selected this. Okay, I have selected this, and then what you can do, you can click on transform data. Okay, click on transform data. So because I have used the import mode, right? I have used the import mode. See now it is showing Power Query. It is showing the Power Query, and then if you close and apply, okay, if you close and apply, then it will load the data into the Power BI, right? It will load the data in Power BI. So as what we said, by using import mode, the data will be stored in Power BI desktop, right? Power BI desktop. The metadata will be stored in Power BI desktop. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
క్లియర్ కదా? నేను జస్ట్ నిన్న థియరీ పార్ట్ చెప్పాను, ఈ రోజు ప్రాక్టికల్ చూపిస్తాను అనమాట మీకు. సో హౌ యూ కెన్ గెట్ ద డేటా బై యూజింగ్ ఇంపోర్ట్ మోడ్, బై యూజింగ్ డైరెక్ట్ క్వరీ మోడ్. సో రియల్ టైమ్ లో ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే ఇలానే ఉంటుంది, సేమ్ డిట్టో. బట్ ఐఎమ్ యూజింగ్ యాజ్ ఎ డిఫరెంట్ సోర్స్. ఐఎమ్ యూజింగ్ యాజ్ ఎ Denodo. But in the different companies they will use a SQL server. In different case they will use a Oracle. In the different companies they will use SAP. But the process will be the same. So whenever you click on get data, whenever you are connecting to the go to the required source, okay, required source, for example SQL server. So SQL server, then it will give the pop-up. Okay, it will give the pop-up. See, this is the import mode and direct query mode. Which one you want to connect it? Okay, which one you want to connect it? Okay. So maybe you will get a question like, so whether in the real time, so who will tell us like whether we need to go with the import mode or we need to go with the direct query mode. Okay, most of the companies will go with the import mode only. But you can ask them, like if you are creating a new report, you can ask like your team member or team lead who are working already, like in our company, in our organization, which data connectivity mode we are using frequently, like can I use import mode or direct query mode? Either one of them I can use, or any specific rules we have to go with the import mode or direct query mode. Okay, and also you just need to check with our license also. If you are using Power BI Pro license, so data must be within 1 GB, right? Data must be within 1 GB, right?
Yes, sir.
Vikrant, Gopi, Pawan, arthamavutunda?
Yes, sir. Yes, Rajesh.
Yeah. See, now what we have done, we have loaded the data so to the Power BI desktop. So once we load the data, you can use the, see, in import mode, just observe. So we have connected with the import mode, right? You can see the report tab, you can see the data tab, you can see the relationship tab, model tab, right? Everything you can see, all these 3 tabs available by using import mode. Okay, just remember this, all these 3 tabs you can it is available by using import mode. Okay, so once you load the data, what you can do, you can add the data. So you can add the data into the different visuals. Okay, you can add the data into the different visuals, and then add the different data into the visuals, and you can see that you can go ahead with the creating a visuals. Okay, creating a visuals by different visuals, and then you can create a slices. Okay, you can create a slices, or you can use the filters only, like here. So fiscal year, so you can use fiscal year 2022, and then you can use fiscal year any one of that. So based on based on the user requirement, you can make a filter on it. Okay, you can make a filter on it, and then you can go out with the creating a visuals and measures. So they will provide you like what are the measures they need, what are the measures need, what are the KPIs they need. Okay, see here, for example, if I open my report, okay, I open my report. See this one. So booking. So what is mean by booking? So so they will provide you. So I need a booking amount. I need a new logos. I need a speedboat amount. I need a Westcon opportunity percentage, and I need a booking count. Okay. So these are all KPIs they will provide you. I mean they will tell you like these are the KPIs I require. So just include them into the Power BI desktop. So in this case, what you need to do to achieve this, you need to write some DAX formulas. Okay, what is that? That is a booking, right? So what I have written the just a simple formula called sum. Sum is one type of DAX formula. This is the sum is like one DAX formula. Closed one is the table name. Okay, so closed one is this is the table name, right? This is the table name, and total price. Total price is the column name. If you find it, you can see it. I mean, can you search? If you search for that total. See, this is the total price. Can you see it here?
Yes, sir.
This is the total price. So once you write this DAX formula, you can achieve this. Okay, once you write this DAX formula, you can achieve this. Let me write once again. But I will tell you once we are coming to the DAX measures, I'll show you like how we can write it. But here, for example, I'm showing. Okay, let's say measure is simply I'll write booking amount. So it will be meaningful name, right? What is this? What is this? This is a booking amount. Okay, this is the booking amount, right? Sum. So once you type it SUM, it will automatically show all the related DAX formulas. There are so many DAX formulas, more than 100, but you don't need to worry about all the DAX formulas. So we'll very frequently use DAX measures. We will cover that. Okay. So use this sum function, and then it will be the table name, right? Table name is the closed one. Closed. See, this is the table name. Okay, closed one, and then what is the column name? Column name is the total price. So it is not coming because it will come up with the. Otherwise, you can directly type it with the total price. Can you see it here? So if you search with the column name, this is the total price is the one column, right? One column. So search it, and then it is a combination of table name. So if you directly type it, the total price, it will not come, because it should because this total price is under in the closed one table, right? So if there is no table, how system will understand? See, this total price అనేది closed one table లో ఉంది కాబట్టి we need to have the table information. We need to enter the table information. If you directly go with the total price, it will give the error. See, for example, I'll enter this. Okay, I'll use this, and I'll close the bracket. It will give the error. See, cannot find the table name. See, table name you ivalledu kabatti, so its system is telling that cannot find the table name. So that is the reason what you need to do. You need to have the table name. Okay, you need to have the table name. Okay, you need to have the table name. So you just need to find what is the column name. Column name is the total price. Okay, column name is the total price. Remove one total price. Enter. Okay, see, now booking amount. There was no booking amount measure. So what you can do? You can go here, and then see, this is the booking amount. You can add it. So by using card. Okay, by using card. So this is the existing report. So let me add new measure, new page, and then add the booking amount, and then use the proper visual, because we don't need the any graphs, right? We just need a card visual. Okay, you just need a card visual. So this is the data. Okay, 653 If we go here, what was the amount? 653, right? So can you see it here? 653.54. And here also it is 653.54. Okay. So this is how we will write the DAX formulas. But for now, just forget about this. So what I was saying is like, by using import mode, whenever you are using import mode, you can see all these three tabs, and all the DAX formulas will be supported by the import mode. Okay, import mode. Clear in the work? How we can get the how we can use the import mode, and where we can see the import mode. Clear in the work? Any doubts so far?
No, Rajesh, we need to work on it.
Yeah. So measures అనేది ఇప్పుడు నేను రాసిన ఫార్ములా లైట్ తీసుకోండి, అది లైట్ తీసుకోండి, the topic will come later. But what I am saying is like, so you can see all these tabs, okay, all these tabs by using import mode, and then it will support all the tax measures, and it will support all the time intelligence functions, it will support all the calendar functions, everything it will support it. Okay, it will support it. Okay, now we'll go with the direct query mode. Okay, direct query mode, how we can see the direct query mode. Okay, let's go here, and then again go here. Okay, this is not our side, so let me open this one. Okay, this one I'll go now, again get data, go to connect, then I'll take the direct query mode. Okay, go to connect, same process, but it is a you just need to select the direct query mode instead of import mode, right? Search for this, select it, just observe what I said. Here we'll have 3 tabs by using import mode, but when you are using direct query mode, close and apply. Okay, but I'll show you, like I'll close this and I'll open with the new file, and then we can understand the difference. Okay, let's close this. Okay, close this also. I'm opening new file. Okay, now I'll go to the get data. Connect. I'll tell you, so there is a shortcut also. Every time you don't need to enter all this, every time source details. Okay, you can use the recent data source. There is an option called recent sources. I'll show you that later. Now, so now it's a direct query. Okay, then search for your table name. Okay, search for your table name, select it, transform data. So every time you always go to the transform data, because you do all the data prepping, data shaping and everything you do in the Power Query editor, right? As we discussed, you remember, right?
Yes, sir. All data manipulations will be done in the transform data
Power Query editor. Yeah. So once we close this, close and apply. See, so can you observe something here?
You can't see this reporting model, sir.
No, that's what I said. So just remember, first one is the report, and the second should be the data, and third should be model. Okay, so the data tab is disabled. So there is no data tab. So that's what I said. So there will not be any data tab. Because because we are using direct query, and it is directly connecting to the source. you will not do anything with the data, because the data is stored in the source, right? It is not stored in the Power BI metadata. See, can you see here, storage mode, direct query. Storage mode is a direct query. Here also you can see it. What is the storage mode? So that is the reason the data tab will not be available. So all the data will be stored in the source itself. That is the reason you cannot see the data tab. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
So same thing, like you can see, you can do same like fiscal year. You can add everything fiscal year, and then you can add the amount, and then like whichever you require. So you can write the DAX measures also. But some of the DAX measures will not work. Though some of the DAX measures means the calendar functions will not work in the direct query mode. So because there is no data tab, so you cannot write the calendar functions. So you cannot write the calendar functions by default. But by using calendar auto, there is a table called calendar auto, which is provided by the Power BI. So that topic also we will discuss maybe tomorrow. So how we can use the calendar auto table, and by using calendar auto table, how we can extract the data, extract the multiple columns like calendar date, calendar year, and calendar quarter, okay, calendar week, and everything we can extract by using that calendar auto. Okay, by using that calendar auto table. So by using the table, so if you have only calendar year, so if you want to get the data from calendar week, calendar quarter, and calendar date, and everything you can get from that calendar auto table. Okay, that is also possible. So by using that, we can overcome this disadvantage in the direct query mode. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is how we can get the data from by using import mode and direct query mode. Okay, this is how we can get the data from by using direct query mode and import mode. So all the same functions you can use, like everything you can create a different kind of visuals and filters and everything you can do in the direct query also. Okay. Okay, so what I was saying, like, so you can use, instead of going every time get data, okay, every time get data. So if you are working with the same source, so you don't need to go every time to the SQL server. For example, SQL server, okay, and you don't need to enter the SQL server name every time. Okay, you can directly use the recent data source. So in our case, we are using Denodo, right? We are using the Denodo. So let me, okay, here. So whenever I am typing Denodo and if I am connecting, then it is asking the server name, right? It is asking the server name here. It is DSNM, the server name. So you don't need to type every time. Okay. See, here it is only Denodo. That is fine. But in SQL server name, it will be different, right? Server dot uv dot everything. So so you don't need to remember every time. Yes. Then in this case, what you can do. So there is an option called recent sources. Okay. Here you can see all the recent sources which I have used. So in our case, I have used the recent source, right? This is the Denodo. So it will not ask any server details. It will not ask any server details. You can directly, it will directly connect it. It is already connected because we have already given the credentials before, and we are using that same source for the reporting purpose, right? So did it ask? No, right? So just click on Denodo, then it will directly show us all the tables. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so tomorrow we will discuss about that calendar auto function. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss about the calendar, because live connection I cannot show it. Even in my real time also we are not using. Even in TCS also I am not using. In Westcard also, because I am working in a two companies, right? So in both companies we are not using that SSAS tabular model, SSAS multi-dimension model. Okay, so that is the reason I cannot show you. But the process is the same. So whenever you are connecting to the live connection, then you can see that live connection model. Okay, whenever you are connecting to the SSX model, you can see that live connection model. Okay, clear so far? In terms of import mode, direct query mode. So just go with the descriptions, like understand the description, and then start using in the system. Okay, start using the system, but in your system you cannot see it because you don't have the real-time system, right? You don't have the real-time system. But if you have any open source like SQL open source, anything, you can try with that. Because I do not have right now, so I cannot show you. But you understand, right? How we can see the import mode and direct query mode. So click on get data, go to the required source, go to the required source, and then you can see the import mode or direct query mode. SQL server, and you give the server name, and here you can see import mode and direct query mode. Okay, can you see it here? Import mode and direct query mode. So these advanced options are time mode. For example, it's taking too much time. It's taking too much time. There is a limitation. I think I am not sure. There is a timeout in minutes. I think I don't know. 60 minutes or 120 minutes. So till now it will keep on loading the data. It will keep on loading the data. It will not give any error. So once it is more than 60 minutes or whatever the time which is given by Microsoft, it will give the timeout error. So until now it will work. It will keep on loading the data. Okay. That is the advanced command timeout in minutes. Okay. This is optional, so you don't need to maintain anything. Okay. Clear, right? Gopi, Pawan, and Vikrant. Clear? Any doubts?
No, Rajesh, network.
Okay, but clear, right? How it will work with the live connection, how it will work the input mode, and how it will work the direct query mode. Okay.
Okay, Anna.
Yeah. So just go with the description and try to understand. Okay, try to explore with the some other information from the YouTube or Google. Okay, so just maintain these notes in your WordPad or in your OneNote. So it will definitely use in future, because even if you go to the company then you can by using this description you can understand, okay, how this feature will work, how this option will work, how this tab will work. So that's what I'm saying. Every time just go and search for the description in the Google or YouTube and maintain the notes for each topic. That will be very, very, very useful in future. I am sure about that. So that's what I'm saying. Do not neglect that. Whatever the topic we are covering every day, so get that information from the YouTube or Google. Make a note of it. Make a WordPad in all your Power BI stuff in one WordPad or one note, and keep it with you. So it will definitely use it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then tomorrow we will discuss about a different topic. Okay.
Okay, sir.